Are you considering hiring a remote employee but are simply not sure whether it's the right decision for you or not? Then you're at the right place. Hello and welcome to our yet another podcast from the Remote Work series. I am Deep Ganguly, and in today's video we are going to talk about why it's worth hiring a remote employee. For that, we'll have Robin Singh, who is a client success manager, and we are going to discuss with him some of the basic questions which will revolve around what to expect and what not to expect from a remote employee. So without further ado, let's jump to the discussion.
Hi Deep, how are you?
Hi Robin, I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It feels so good to be here in with you. So what are we discussing here tonight?
Great. So I guess you already know the discussion point. We are discussing about why it's worth hiring a remote employee, or the reason why one should consider having a remote team for their business. And you being the client success manager for Wishup and roughly working for more than a year now, so I think you are exactly the person for to whom we should ask all of the questions that we have. So shall we start?
Yes, please.
Great. So to begin with, let's start with what exactly is the role of client success manager?
Okay. So as a CSM, I am currently working with multiple businesses, small size businesses and medium sized businesses, helping them achieve their goals that they have in their mind when they hire a remote employee. Other than that, I help them with troubleshooting any kind of problem that they may have. I am in constant touch with them for feedbacks to understand if it's all going good or not. And I help them build a new remote team whenever they want to.
Great. That is nice. And let's start with the questionnaire now. I have some questions for you. So my first question is, how do you define a remote employee, and what verticals or roles can one hire remote employees for?
So, a remote employee is anyone who's working remotely and never has to go to an office to work or to give the output that's required of him. And if I have to talk about what all different roles you can hire a remote employee for, so I don't think there is any role which can't be done remotely now, unless it's something which is related to travel or construction or something like that. Because there are many big giant companies which have gone 100% remote. Wishup has been forever remote, right? And if let's say you're a business and you're looking to hire remote employees, then from Wishup itself you can hire online business managers. Now these guys can help you with any and all kind of business operations work, be it project management, client relationship management, database management, copywriting, things like that. You can also hire digital marketers. You can also hire inside sales managers, and we are also in the process of starting two new roles which will be into customer support and customer service.
Oh, that's great. So our next question is, what are the top 3 reasons that a business owner should opt for a remote employee when building their teams?
3 reasons which comes to mind right off the bat would be cost. I think remote employees are much cost efficient than in-office employees, and for obvious reasons. Other than that, I would say flexibility. I mean, you can hire them on a part-time basis, you can hire them on a full-time basis, you can hire them for particular days of the week, or for particular number of tasks, or even for particular number of hours. So that's how flexible the market is nowadays. And the third would be efficiency. So you are hiring them for limited time, right? For maybe limited hours, limited days, and they know the output that they have to give you in that limited period of time. So of course the output, the work, everything is calculated, and hence the efficiency you will get from a remote employee would be much higher than from an in-office employee.
Great. And could you elaborate on the use case where remote employees can have a direct impact on the business?
There are plenty. So I if I have to tell you the one which has inspired me the most towards this concept would be I met this fine gentleman who is working in the credit repair business in the United States. Okay, and he wanted to gain more Instagram followers so that he can reach out to more people for his business and get more clients. And at that point of time, I think he had only 150 followers on Instagram. In within 6 months, and he hired somebody just for managing Instagram, posting content and everything else. And after 6 months, he had 1,500 followers. So that's 10x growth in terms of the number of followers he had. The posts, the content, they were constantly flowing, and I think now he has more than 2,000 followers, and he's been doing really great. And there are many such use cases. I mean, this is one which is related to social media, but there are other related to business operations as well. So I still remember we started working with this venture capitalist based out of California. His existing EA was going on a maternity leave, and he wanted somebody to fill in for those 4-5 months till the time the existing EA is back. And he hired a full-time EA from Wishup. And today that EA is his chief of staff. And the guy who's supposed to be a fill-in EA was never asked to not work again. I mean, so they were so happy with the performance and the commitment that this person showed that they still kept him, and now he has 5 more people he has hired from Wishup for all different sort of roles.
Amazing. So I think it would not be wrong to say that people are really happy with what Wishup is providing.
Obviously, there are many happy customers, and many customers who have started with one remote employee or even one part-time remote employee and ended up hiring number of remote employees from Wishup.
Great. Moving ahead. So my next question is, how would a company's workforce cost differ when hiring from Wishup as compared to the traditional way of hiring?
There are many, and any business owner will relate to these costs. Okay, and there are things which are tangible, there are things which are not tangible. So such as time. Time is something which is not tangible, but again, it holds a lot of value, right? So the hiring cost and the hiring time, that's the biggest cost somebody can save when they hire somebody from Wishup, because our turnaround time is I think 30 minutes. So you reach out to us with your requirement and we'll deploy a remote employee within 30 minutes. That's how fast we are. So you save on that hiring cost, you save on that hiring time, and other than that, you save on the training cost, the training time, because these remote employees that you're hiring from Wishup are pre-trained, pre-vetted. So those are 2 major costs, and they do sum up, as a big chunk of money that companies end up saving when they hire from Wishup.
Great. Moving ahead, so say that you are the business owner now. How would you best leverage a remote employee to achieve maximum growth?
So this will be different for every business owner, because everybody has their own style of working, and this also depends on what kind of business they have. So, and because I work with so many business owners, I work with people who are constantly on field, constantly outdoors. They don't sit in front of a laptop or a computer every now and then. Then there are other set of clients who are constantly in front of their laptop. Then there is another set of clients who are constantly in meetings. So it will be different for all these 3 categories, I would say. The common practices will remain the same, however, and they will be using, or rather, first, you have to define the role to the finest detail. Define everything that your remote employee is going to do. Provide them with everything in terms of knowledge that they need to be successful in that role. Give them the time to learn the ropes at least. For a remote employee, I don't think it will take more than 2 weeks to learn the ropes and start giving you the results that you need.
Okay.
And other than that, I think using tools like Trello, Asana, or any other project management tool for that matter to keep a track of how things are progressing, where things are at, really helps as well. And lastly, I think any new task, if it comes with defined instructions, it will save your remote employee tons of time. Or they can figure it out on their own, but yeah, they'll just end up spending more time than they usually would in any particular way.
So these are some great best practices notes for the business owner who are looking for remote employers right there.
These are most
moving
common
ahead.
practices, yes.
Right. Great. So moving ahead, so can you tell us about your favorite success story of clients who did exceedingly well hiring remote employees?
So this is, I think, my favorite question out of everything that you've asked so far.
Okay.
So I have this, not one, there are so many, and I don't know which one to tell you about. So we'll start with this one. So there is a PR agency based out of Orlando, Florida, and I think we met in June last year, and they were looking for a project manager, and they were on that stage of their business where they wanted to just go all guns blazing and grow their business. And yeah, I think that's how our relationship started. Today they have 7 remote employees from Wishup, all working full time, taking care of different part of their business. Their client base has grown, I think, 4x. They have started a new vertical, a new business vertical, which is giving them good revenue, and even that new vertical is managed by people from Wishup. And I think that's my favorite story of them all, but there are so many others. And if I start telling them now, I don't think we'll ever end this discussion.
We have enough time. Great. So moving ahead, so we also have some, a lot of FAQs were there. So we have made a small rapid fire round for you, where I'm going to ask, some of the FAQs. So rapid fire, as you know the drill. So you will only have 2 seconds to answer the question. So this is going to be a gamification to our type of rapid fire. So this is going to be an FAQ based rapid fire for you. So here's the first question from the rapid fire. What is the most common myth about hiring a remote employee?
They are not as efficient as in-office employees.
Which is definitely wrong. And in what capacity can a remote employee be hired, part-time or full-time?
You can hire them on a full-time basis or on a part-time basis based on what your requirements are, what is the work volume that you have. And I've even seen people hiring remote employees for limited hours for short projects, but that's not something that Wishup does.
Great. Okay, so what's the experience required to be a remote employee at Wishup?
So to be a remote employee in Wishup, you should at least have 3 years of work experience in either business operations, business administration, content writing, project management, client relationship management, or even digital marketing or inside sales. So if you have good exposure, good experience in any of these fields, if you are keen to work remotely, you have a laptop and a good internet connection, a stable internet connection, and a stable power supply, a place at your home which is quiet enough for business meetings, I think you can be a remote employee.
Perfect. And is there a flexibility to go through multiple candidates before hiring Wishup's remote employee services?
Absolutely. So we have a dedicated hiring page for this particular purpose, wherein any business owner can browse who all are currently available for taking, and if let's say they want to interview multiple candidates, they can at any point of time contact me or anybody in the sales team, and we would be more than happy to arrange those interviews for them.
Great. And the last question, what measures does Wishup take to protect clients' business data and assure its safety?
So we have a double layer protection in this particular scenario. One is the contract that's initially signed. It's an e-contract whenever anybody purchases their subscription from Wishup, which covers the terms of confidentiality for the client in the company. Then the assigned remote employee will also sign a non-disclosure agreement with the client, which covers anything that is shared with the remote employee in that confidentiality agreement.
Perfect. So that answers all my questions for now, Robin. And it was great talking to you. And I'm hoping that in future videos, you're again going to star with me and, give some more information to the viewers out there. So any concluding message from you for the people or for the business owners who are looking the remote employees for?
It's just about taking that first step, guys. So if let's say you want to hire somebody, it doesn't matter if you want to hire somebody in office or if you want to hire somebody remote, just hop on to wishup.co and try these people out. These are really talented individuals who would add tons of value to your businesses.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Robin, for joining us. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Deep. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
So that was so informative, you guys. I hope all your questions were answered, but if not, we would really like to get back to you. You can either ask all your questions in the comment section below, or you can get back to us. Simply visit our website and someone from our team would be really happy to help. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. And if you want to see more such information, then please subscribe to our channel and please like the video. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.